Right, it's time to talk about the new 2020 iPad Pro. So, the latest tablet Apple's released packs some pretty impressive stuff. A stunning 120Hz Super AMOLED display, check. An improved A12Z Bionic chip, check. And an ultra-wide camera for those crispy iPad shots, I guess. Check, yeah? But to be honest, what can these specs give you in your day-to-day experience? More importantly for Apple though, what do these features make the iPad? So I've got the massive 12.9-inch version here, which is super large and somewhat difficult to handle, although the thinness does reduce the chunkiness a tiny bit. Additionally, this is the max specs version, packing in an entire terabyte of storage and, less impressively, 6 GB of memory. The goal of this model would probably be to take on the larger laptops, while the smaller 11-inch will be to solidify Apple's position as the tablet king. But, this is important, the largest and highest storage model of the new iPad Pro, not even counting the cellular version, fetches a grand total of £1,469. That is absolutely flipping crazy. Any good laptop nowadays costs more or less around £1,000, and even if you're going for the newest MacBook Pro, which is usually the highest end model of laptops that Apple offers, that would cost you $1,299. Immediately, Apple stands at a disadvantage because most people would back away from buying this, and it's hard to justify spending so much on a tablet-laptop mix, even if the specs are impressive to look at. I mean, first of all, who would even need an ultra-wide camera on a 12.9-inch display? Have you even tried holding this with one hand? It's damn near impossible to stabilize with it, certainly. And don't even get me started on the new niche LiDAR scanner. Wow, you fitted an AR enhancement camera onto an iPad? That's so cool, but who would even need that? That's the thing. They show someone deciding and furniture in the ad, which, I can accept. It's a pretty fair usage, not gonna criticize. But let's be honest, how many times are you personally gonna move houses in the next few years and let alone require an extra precise scanner just to map out your room digitally and see if, your chair can fit in a very clearly fittable space? No, we're not going to do that, so it's pretty much useless at this point. The confusing features of this iPad Pro begs the question, who is this really intended for? It's certainly not gamers, or at least they failed in their targeting, because the screen is literally too big for mobile gamers, too small for console gamers, and too iOS for PC. The overpowering feel of iPad OS, although admittedly silky smooth and actually quite satisfying at times, immediately discourages a lot of Android and Windows users because from the perspective of someone like me who has used both of those things, the software honestly feels just limiting. Every time it's small details, yeah fine, just tiny bits, like not being able to have the same app on both the homepage and the app dock, but these add up to become an experience that reminisces of iOS and pretty much feels like the UI is fighting against you as someone who hasn't used iOS before. I mean, personally, I'm not really a big fan of iOS, and the same things that I don't like about iPhones apply to this iPad. Downloading third-party apps from my browser? Nope. Customizing the widgets and system appearance? Fat rip, definitely not. And while on the subject of software, the iPad also has one major problem that really actually isn't their fault. A lot of apps are not suited to the screen size and the screen aspect ratio, and some just won't rotate and actually look really bad. For example, Instagram, look at this horror, doesn't even rotate, and it looks like someone's dropped a 240p bomb on this, even though it's Super Retina and it's very crisp and clean. But I really can't say the software is bad because even with all these problems, Apple's animations look absolutely stunning with the 120Hz display. Like this detail, for instance. The fact that the background moves slightly when you shift the iPad around really completes me. It is so satisfying to look at when you're on the home screen. The A12Z Bionic chip is great for a tablet, especially if you've had your fun with the legendary Google Pixel 8 or Samsung Tab A10.1. Those are absolute lag monsters compared to this. But it is questionable when faced with, anything above an 8th Gen i7 Intel Core processor for any PC. Editing on iMovie feels decent, yeah, but certainly limiting, and there's no way I'd really rather edit on this than a proper PC with decent specs. That being said though, the terabyte really helps with large video files, and there's virtually no lag while playing around with 5+ minute clips. If the larger model of the iPad Pro 2020 is too big for a portable tablet, and too slow or iOS for a proper laptop, then the only people that I can imagine this tablet fits are students. Paired with the second-gen Apple Pencil, I gotta say taking notes is an absolute dream. The size is fantastic for drawing or just writing because your hand fits perfectly on the screen as well as your pen, and you can carry on writing lines for quite a bit due to the width. On the same subject though, I feel like typing horizontally on the iPad is a bit of a stretch for fingers because middling keys like a G or H might require an active effort to reach, and especially this is the case, in the typical legs up, back crouched iPad typing position, one that everyone has when they're lying on bed or in all those ads. One thing I do have with writing though is how slippery the glass is sometimes. I can't physically imagine this being Apple's fault, and this is the case with every single smartphone, but I really do recommend you get some sort of screen protector. Since the area of detection on the Apple Pencil, the one that checks when you double tap to switch to eraser or pen or whatever settings you have, is actually higher up than I expected. It's actually not next to the nib, it's slightly higher than that. And when you press near the nib, it won't register. I would want to hold the Apple Pencil further up than I want, especially on such a slippery screen, and therefore my letters look scrawnier or messier than before, and more mishaps happen normally because of this. Also, it is a bit fiddly, so you might want to adjust to it. So I would really recommend some sort of paper-like screen protector, or at least a matte one. For example, I've got this Nokin screen protector here, and at the slight compromise of a slightly hazier screen, you can write on a matte surface that reduces slip and offers some satisfying resistance against the pen. I mean, to be fair, the glare isn't even that bad, and there are even some anti-glare matte screen protectors that will definitely get rid of any glare you have, and maybe even reduce some that you would get on the iPad without a screen protector. So as a student myself, would I buy the 12.9-inch iPad Pro 2020? Well, it's not like I have video sponsors and deals with Apple, and the tablet is right here next to me, so I guess the answer is pretty clear. Nah, but jokes aside, I think I would actually buy it if I had the chance again. The price is a bit too much, admittedly, but at the same time, the experience is truly unparalleled. No other tablet can offer experience close to this, and it's not like the most versatile touchscreen Windows laptops don't have any faults. Windows itself has its own problems, some much more major than iOS, like having a functioning antivirus. Seriously, I got like 3 on there and I can't get rid of them. And Microsoft Family settings navigable by actual humans. So it's really not like laptops are perfect either. But to make one thing certain, anyone who purchases an iPad Pro 2020 or 2018 can rest assured that they have a tablet that will last them much longer than any other, and that will be functioning and up to date for years and years to come due to Apple's brilliant software updates. So at least your tablet will see the best of its kind for a long time, if you're willing to pay the price for it. But that's all from me today, and I guess I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!